Hi, welcome back to class. Let's make sure that we find a place comfortable so that we can come all the way to the ground for a moment. You can move into our easy cross-legged style here. You could use a cushion. Remember, props. Today we're probably going to do using a block and maybe some other props. Let's go ahead and start. We're going to inhale through the nose, closing the eyes, and exhale through the nose. We're just taking nice deep breaths, reconnecting to our body, to our breath, paying attention to what the body is saying to us, whether we have aches, pains, or maybe just a little bit of tension or stress. Let's go ahead and inhale, expand through the body. And the exhale, we're letting go of that stress and tension. We're relaxing the shoulders. And today we are coming to the third eye. This is above and between the brows. It is also the pineal gland, deep within left and right brain. Take a few moments, maybe bringing a finger, maybe gently tapping or swirling at the third eye, or just bringing a little bit of attention by bringing a finger to the third eye. Still in touch with our breath, feeling the expansion and the release. Starting to feel centered. And we're going to start opening the eyes. You can keep the eyes shut. We're moving into the sound of Om. Let's inhale to Om. Om. Inhale to Om. Two more times. Take a few moments here while the eyes are shut, coming back to the breath, feeling this new vibration that you've created within, and just allowing it to relax and bring peace to us, peace to our mind, clearing the mind. As we start to bring focus to the breath, let's inhale, start to draw the shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, release the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, letting go. One more time, inhale, draw shoulders up to the ears. exhale, release. Let's bring our hands, palms together, heart center. Then interlace the fingers as we inhale, draw forward, lengthen through the shoulders, sitting nice and tall now. Feeling the glute bones ground, feeling length through the spine. Starting to draw our core in, tightening and lifting up. Let's inhale, draw the arms overhead. And we're gonna exhale and twist. Inhale, moving back to center. And exhale, twisting. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhaling, center. Exhale, twisting. Inhale, center. Last one, exhale, twist. Inhale, center. And last one for this side, exhale, twist. Let's inhale back to center. And exhale, we're gonna open those arms. Make sure the ankles are not stacked. We're gonna hinge forward at the hips, let the heart lead, bring the arms to the side. Take a few deep breaths as we roll the shoulders back. Try to lengthen through the back and maybe even drawing the fingertips forward here. Shoulder width distance apart. Expanding breath on the inhales, and on the exhales, we're allowing the heart to sink forward and down. One more breath here. And let's exhale, bring it back up. Let's cross the legs the opposite direction if you do have them crossed. If not, no worries. Let's sit nice and tall again. And this time, let's tilt the head to one side. Release the chin, pressing down across the chest all the way over to the opposite side. Lift the chin, gaze forward. And then exhale again, pressing forward down across the chest. Inhale, lifts the chin, bring the gaze forward. And exhale, we press the chin forward down. As we move to the opposite side, inhale. And let's exhale, chin into chest. And as we have chin into chest here, let's take our hands, our fingertips, draw it down the back, and just press into the fingertips, giving a light massage through the shoulder blades, and try and draw it up through the neck on either side, on both sides of the vertebrae, and draw all the way up to the skull. You could do this one hand at a time or both hands at the same time. Just pressing into the muscle tissue on both sides of our vertebrae. So avoiding the center of the vertebrae as we draw that energy up towards the skull. And then maybe even taking a moment playing the piano on the back of the neck, just fingers pressing down. And a little bit of tapping here. And you could even use all the fingers and just lightly tap. A little bit of tapotement. And then come up to the skull. Let's lift the head. So here we have the fingertips now at the base of the skull where the neck and skull meet. And we're just lifting to neutral. Let's open the elbows to the side. We're pressing gently in and upward. Taking a few deep breaths here. And let's exhale. Bring the arms down to the side. We are going to hinge forward at the hips. Let the heart lead. The hands can come out to the side. When you're ready to bring the hands forward, shoulder width distance apart, take a nice deep breath. Remember, we're flattening through the back, shoulders roll down and back. You can soften, bend the elbows, heart moves forward. Expanding breath to open up through the hips, the legs, the back, the knees. Exhale, sinking breath as the heart moves towards the floor. One more deep breath. And let's exhale. Start to lift ourselves back up into our sitting position. Here we're going to come into our staff pose. So let's lengthen out our legs, hip width distance apart. If you need a cushion under the glutes, that's fine. Maybe rocking left and right, hinging slightly forward so that we can get onto our sit bones and sit nice and tall. As we have legs hip width distance apart, we're going to start contracting all the muscles towards the bone. Lift the toes up towards the ceiling so we have dorsiflexion, and maybe even press the legs down towards the mat as the heels slightly lift. Let's go ahead and inhale, draw the shoulders up. Exhale, we're going to roll the shoulders back down. Fingertips are going to point forward. We're going to press down into the palms of the hands. Let the heart lift. Let the abs tuck in. Find what elongates all the way through the neck, through the body, finding your gazing point, finding your focus, and then coming back to the breath as we have full body tension. Couple more breaths here. One more breath. And let's exhale, point the toes. Dorsiflex the feet again. Let's inhale, lengthen up and over. We're going to exhale, hinge at the hips, keep the flat back. We're just drawing forward with the fingertips, whether we come to our legs, our ankles, or our toes. Getting a grasp on the legs, ankle, feet, or toes. Roll the shoulders back, elongate through the back as we inhale, having a nice flat back, moving the heart forward. And as we exhale, we're going to release the head between the arms, tuck in the abs, compress the belly in towards the spine. Inhale, let's expand through the heart. Bring the gaze forward again, nice flat back. And as we exhale, once again, release the head, tuck the abs in, navel to spine, compression. Let's inhale. Nice flat back, expanding breath. Exhale, compress. Inhale, expanding breath. And exhaling, compressing breath. Inhale, flatten the back, expand. And exhale, releasing. Let's start to release the legs. We want to come up to all fours here. So coming up to all fours. As we come to all fours here, finding our joint alignment. Remember, hips, knees align. Shoulders all the way to the wrists. Palms are spread wide here, or we're making a fist. You could always bring cushion underneath the knee. You could always bring it down to the forearms if the wrists aren't able to handle the weight. So we're moving into cow. As we inhale, expand through the heart, gaze forward. Let the tailbone lift. And as we exhale, compress the navel to spine, tuck the chin into chest. Inhale, moving into cow. Gaze forward, shine the heart forward. Exhale, coming back into compressing cat. Inhale, coming back into cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. So if you're on the forearms or the hands, let's walk it back. We want to come into our extended child's pose. So glutes to heels, knees point forward, hip width distance apart. Let's stretch through the arms and release the forehead. Inhale, lifting our gaze, lifting the head. And we're going to exhale and walk our hands to the side, extending, keeping the knees and the glutes in the same position. Just our arms are extending, torso, head can release back through the arms if that's comfortable. Let's go ahead and take another breath. We're going to walk the hands all the way over to the other side and extend. So just walking the hands over to the other side. And once again, you can release the head between the arms if that feels good to you. We're coming back to all fours here. We want to come into our windmill. So let's find all fours, even if we are making fists again. We're going to inhale, bring one side, twisting, lengthening through the arm up towards the ceiling. Stacking shoulders, keeping the back flat and elongated. Knees under the hips. One more breath here. And let's exhale. We're going to release that hand back under the shoulder, plant it, and inhale the opposite arm. Drawing up, lengthening through the back. We're still finding our breath. So keep that breath. Let's exhale, release. We're going to use one breath ratio. So let's inhale, draw the arm up. Exhale, we allow that arm to float down. Inhale, opposite arm up. Exhale, we allow that to float down. Inhale, arm comes up. And exhale, floats down. Inhale, lengthen the arm up. And exhale, bring the arm back down. Let's move right into our spinal balance. So bring one arm forward and the opposite leg back, dorsiflex the foot. Let's keep it here for 3 breaths. And let's exhale, bring it back down. We're going to switch to the other side. Opposite arm comes forward and the opposite leg moves back. Elongating through the back. Remember, we're sending energy through the heel as well as through the fingertips. Stretching through the core, keeping the back flat. One more breath here. And let's exhale, release. As we release, let's tuck our toes and come into our downward facing dog. Take a moment to walk it out, hip width distance apart for the feet. And then start bending each knee one at a time, bicycling the legs out as the head is between the arms, flattening through the back. Take a nice deep breath. Let's exhale and walk the hands back to our feet. As we come to the toes, knees are soft. Let's bring our hands to our shins and start to flatten, lengthen through the back and bring the gaze forward for our monkey pose. Inhale, expanding through the heart. And exhale, we're coming into forward fold. You can grasp behind the legs. You can draw the torso close. Keeping the knees soft, tighten the glutes. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Overhead salute as we come all the way up. And exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Let's grab a brick or a ball. So you can also use a ball. We're going to bring it between the legs, inner thighs right above the knees. Toes still point forward. We still have hip width distance apart. Let's inhale, lengthen up and over. Exhale, hands come to heart as we move back into chair pose. So just hinge at the hips, hinge at the knees, maybe check to see that you can still see your toes. Knees are not surpassing toes. Let's go ahead and release. Inhale, lengthen up and over. Exhale, come back into chair pose. Inhale, open the arms, lengthen up and over. We're going to add a twist here. So exhale, bring it back into chair. An option to open the arms as we twist. So as we open the arms, one arm comes up, the other arm moves laterally down the leg towards the floor, keeping length in the spine here. And let's exhale, heart center, release the hands, inhale, overhead salute as we lift up. Exhale, palms come back to heart, hinge back into our chair, and we're going to twist the opposite direction. Open the arms, keep the back flat, and come into the breath. And let's exhale, bring the palms back, heart center. Release the hands, draw them up and over as we inhale. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Let's remove the brick. So as we come back to hip width distance apart, let's step 1 foot forward. We want to come into our triangle pose. So hip width distance apart, the other foot is back, leg lengthens. Remember, it's at an angle and the toes for the front leg points forward. After we have that, you can bring hands to hips. Let's elongate through that front leg as well. Twist open like we would for warrior two. So now the hips open to our side. Elongate through the arms. Roll the shoulders back. Keep a tight core. Let's inhale, hinge at the hips. Draw your front arm forward. Exhale, you can release that arm as we lift the opposite arm towards the ceiling. Remember, hips are stacking and shoulders are stacking. We also have a long spine here, so we're keeping those abs contracted and not using our hand for weight balance. Nice deep breaths here. And let's exhale. So as we exhale, soften, bend the front knee, grab a block. We want to come into our half moon pose. So half moon, grab a block, helps with balance here. Bring it in front of the front toes. Start to lift up that back leg. This time hips will stack here. So make sure that hip is stacking on top of the other. Dorsiflex the foot, and when you're ready, you can bring that arm all the way up. Let's exhale, soften that front knee, bring the leg back. You can leave the brick there, bend that front knee as we come back up. As we come up, we're gonna come into our revolving side angle pose. So let's bring our hips forward facing here, hands to heart. And then we're going to either open the arms like we do for our chair twist, or we could keep hands at heart and hook that elbow on the lateral side of that front leg. So here, exhale, hinge at the hips, starting to draw forward, then twist. Either hinging that elbow on the lateral side of that front leg or opening the arms all the way up. And let's exhale. Bring the hands back together if you don't already have hands at heart. Hinging back up, lengthening. As we hinge back up, we're already set up for our warrior one. Hands are at heart today for warrior one. Hips are forward facing. That front knee is still bent and stacking right above the ankle. Nice deep breaths here. Let's go ahead and release the hands. We're going to step that back foot forward. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, making our way into monkey as we gaze forward. And exhale, back into forward fold. Start to tighten the glutes, root through the floor, reverse swan dive, hinge at the hips, draw all the way up and over. Exhale, palms come together, hands to heart. This time stepping the opposite foot back. Remember, we're still hip width distance apart. Let's go ahead and move right into our warrior one. That long leg behind us has that angle with the foot to the side. Our knee for the front leg is bent right over our ankle. Our toes point straight forward. Our hips are straight forward. Our shoulders roll back. We're at heart center for warrior one. let's exhale. We're going to take it right into our half moon. So grab the block in front of those front toes with same hand arm as the front leg and start to lift up our back leg. Remember, the hips are going to stack. So find stacking hips, dorsiflex the foot, then bring that arm all the way up. Lengthening through the torso here. Tighten those abs as we lengthen and stack our joints. And then find the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. And let's exhale, gently start to hinge at that front knee. Take that other leg back. And we're going to bring ourselves back forward like we did for our warrior one. So our hips are back forward facing. We're coming right into our revolving side angle. So exhale, twist, hinge at the hips, draw yourself forward. And either hinge that elbow on the lateral side of the leg for a revolving side angle or open up the arms. Exhale, release the hands, center heart. Remember, we're going to open up for our triangle. So our hips now are going to open up to the side like we would for warrior two. Lengthen that front leg. Start to bring the arms out. Same leg, same arm forward. Other arm back. Hinge at the hips. Draw yourself forward. Reach. Then release that hand as we bring the other one up. Remember, hip stack, shoulders stack. And then come back into the breath. And let's exhale. Slowly release that. Hinge that front knee forward, hands back at heart. Let's step it forward. Take a few deep breaths, finding that hip width distance apart. Release the arms down. Inhale, lengthen up and over. And exhale, forward fold. Bring the hands all the way down to the floor. Let's step it back for our downward facing dog. And moving, inhaling into our plank pose. From plank, we want to hold it for at least 3 breaths here. So find a nice flat back, shoulders roll back. Alignment from shoulders to wrist to hands. Palms spread wide. Feet are hip width distance apart. Abs are tucked in. We're focused on the breath. And let's gently exhale, release the knees. Hinge the elbows forward and in. We're going to move through a crocodile, so keep the back flat. And slowly release down to the mat. As we're all the way down to the mat, hip width distance apart, stabilize your hips, abs tuck in, roll those shoulders back, elbows tuck in, and start to lift the torso, lift the head, roll those shoulders back as the palms lift up off the floor. Breathing in our baby cobra, one more breath. And let's exhale. Inhale, press through the arms, flatten the back, partial plank. We're gonna come all the way back into our wide-legged extended child's pose. So opening through the knees, glutes to heels, and let's reach it forward and down. The breath a little bit. Got back in touch, body breath. Let's move to all fours.
Taking nice deep breaths as we find alignment. And then start to bring the glutes all the way back to the heels. We're going to sit right on top of those heels. And as we sit on top of the heels, remember, if that's uncomfortable, put a blanket between. This will help lift the torso, maybe even a couple of blocks will do as well, or help lift the glutes up off the heel. Lengthen through the back. Let's inhale, bring the arms up and over. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. We're going to move into a twist, so starting to twist to one side, that elbow is going to come right in front of the knee. And then we're pressing into the palms of the hands, trying to stack elbows as we press the palms and stack the shoulders and lengthen all the way through the back. Still focusing on our breath. And let's exhale. We're going to release that twist. Coming forward, still coming all the way up. Let's bring our arms to the side. Inhale, lengthening up and over. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. We're going to twist the opposite direction. So twist. Remember that elbow that's forward is going to come down in front of the other knee. Press through the palms of the hands, stack the elbows, stack the shoulders, lengthen through the vertebrae, through our flat back as we twist. Coming back to the breath. Exhale. Starting to release forward again. Coming all the way up to all fours. We're going to bring it forward and down to the glutes. So let's come all the way down to the floor. We want to do a little bit more here. So as we come down to the floor on the glutes, hang on to the legs. Let's round the back, or maybe just hang on to one leg as we come all the way back. Knees towards the chest. And then let's release head, neck, shoulders. Starting to bring the soles of the feet down. Let's inhale, hips come up for our modified bridge. Bring the palms face down underneath your glutes and hips. And then release the hips back down, the low back, on top of the hands. Tighten the abs, draw knees towards the chest, and lengthen up our imaginary wall here. So we have legs up the wall, hip width distance apart. Toes towards the nose, abs are tight, and we're pressing down into the floor. So our back is flat and pressing down into the floor. Nice deep breaths here. Let's go ahead and exhale. We're going to hinge at our knees. And we're just going to let the toes tap the ground. So we're adding a little bit of ab work by tapping those toes, keeping tension on the abs and drawing back up. And then slowly letting the toes tap and then drawing back up. Again, nice and slow with the breath. Let the toes tap, hinge at the knees, and then draw back up and over. One more time, toes, tap, hinge at the knees, and then draw all the way back up. Let's come back up to legs up the wall, lengthen through the heels, open straddle pose. So we still have the toes towards the nose, we're lengthening through our legs, and now we have open straddle here. Couple of breaths in our open straddle pose. Let's exhale and slowly move back to hip width distance apart. Then let's point the toes while we still have the hands below the low back. We're just going to come into a boat pose. So this is our incline boat. Then let's hinge at the knees, dorsiflex the feet, draw the knees towards the chest, extend legs up the wall. Take a nice deep breath. Let's point the toes. Exhale. Remember, we're coming just into that boat angle. So just till we feel comfortable enough that we can hold this pose for a breath. And exhale. Hinge at the knees. Draw knees towards the chest. Dorsiflex the feet. And let's lengthen back overhead. Back into our legs up the wall. Point the toes. Exhale. Remember, it's a slow motion as we find our point. And then you're taking a moment. Let's take a nice deep breath. And exhale, hinge at the knees, draw knees towards the chest. And this time, let's bring the soles of the feet all the way back down to the ground. As they come back down, let's lift the glutes back up. Modified bridge. You can release the hands from underneath the back. Taking deep breaths here. So our inhales expand through the belly, and our exhales, we're contracting and tightening navel to spine. One more breath. Remember, we have hip width distance apart, so we're also contracting those inner thighs to keep the hip width distance apart. And let's exhale, release the back. As we release the back, let's draw knees to chest. You can even lift the head. We're going to gently rock left and right. And as we move around here, let's open the arms to T position. Palms face up. Knees are still bent. We're going to exhale and allow the knees to fall to one side. Keep the arms and shoulders open. You can take that hand, this is an option, and just bring it on top of the legs as we press down towards the mat. And the other option is to look over the opposite shoulder. We're starting to relax the breath, starting to bring focus back to center as we're calming the body, calming the mind. Let's start to release that. We're going to bring knees back up to center, open that arm hand, and we're just going to allow the legs to move all the way over to the other side. Keep the shoulders stable into the ground. Once again, option to bring that hand on top of the leg, pressing towards the floor, and another option is to look over that shoulder. Gently release, come back to center, draw knees into chest, contract those abs, and then give ourselves a hug as we're back in center. You can lift the head, you can rock side to side. We're starting to get ready for our Shavasana here, so if you need to grab a blanket, pillow, maybe a towel rolled up underneath our neck, maybe something for the knees so they can soften and bend for our low back. And we're going to gently release the soles of the feet. So here you're getting ready for Shavasana, our quiet time. Starting to allow the palms to face up, relax the torso, relax the body. Make sure that you're comfortable. And then when your low back is ready, you can release the legs all the way down, extending all the way through the legs. Remember to open them up enough that the feet are relaxed and open as well. starting to shut the eyes. And just refocus on our breath. Coming back to where we started in the beginning of class. We could bring our attention back to the third eye. You could gently tap here. Or maybe just bringing a finger to the third eye. Maybe a swirling. And just feeling connected here. So nice deep breaths as we feel connected to our third eye, to our pineal gland, to our intuition. Allowing us to open to our insight. Allowing the mind to clear and relax. Feeling safe, feeling stable, feeling relaxed with each and every breath as we release tension on the exhales. We release stress. We allow the body to relax and deepen into the earth. Namaha Shivaya. Universal consciousness. Allowing this to repeat through the mind with our silent mantra today. So each breath, Namaha Shivaya. I invoke the infinite potentiality of the universe. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Releasing our silent mantra, Namah Shivaya, letting go. Just allowing the body and the mind to relax. As today's meditation is about recognizing the simplicity at the core of life. When we learn to live from that place of calm simplicity, we are then able to smoothly and effortlessly navigate through the demands and forces of our everyday life. The unifying quality of awareness is related to the power of hope. When we feel that connection to our simplicity of being, we have hope as well. I offer hope from the simplicity of my heart. I offer hope from the simplicity of my heart.
Now starting to take our deep breaths, reawakening the body by just allowing the breath to expand on the inhales as the body moves, exhaling, releasing. Each breath bringing movement now to our fingers, to our toes, to the body. And remember, you could take a moment to stretch overhead, contracting the body. And when you're ready, you can move to our side in fetal position. And maybe even hug the knees in, giving yourself a hug. And then when you're ready to come all the way up, we're pressing through the palms of the hands using arm strength as we press away from the floor. Thank you for joining me for yoga today. Namaste.